All right. Another week, another Centre Circle podcast. I'm John. I'm here with Keith and Isaac. How you doing, boys?
All good, mate.
Not bad.
It's FA Cup weekend this weekend, so a fewer games, so less games, but not any less drama, I guess. And as someone put in one of my groups today, Man United is the gift that keeps on giving. We'll also be talking about Crystal Palace's game. We'll run through the Bournemouth match, which had a couple of interesting moments. Penalties always seem to bring the best out of people. We'll talk about the Newcastle and Brighton game, which had a couple of red cards. There was a lot of red cards this weekend, actually. And also run through the rest of the games. We're recording on Sunday. Nottingham Forest and Ipswich are due to play tomorrow. We'll also look ahead to what the quarterfinal matchups have brought us. All right, first things first. Manchester United 1, Fulham 1. Fulham go through 3-4 on penalties after extra time. Another loss for Ruben Amorim and team. However, I don't think this is as straightforward as the other losses. Keith, what do you think?
I slightly disagree. It's still much of a muchness from Man United at the minute. I didn't see anything today that kind of showed me that they're gonna kick on or something has changed. It was still nervy. There's a couple moments with Onana and Maguire at the back. Going forward, Rasmus Højlund doesn't look like he's going to get you more than 5 goals a season at the minute. In the midfield, they're only really banking on Bruno. And a lot of that is kind of set-piece play. There's been a lot of discourse about, is he the guy to pull them out the mud, etc. And he's doing it by getting assists and the odd goal here and there. But overall gameplay, is he making the team tick? Is he pulling them by the scruff of the necks throughout moments of play and phases? I don't really see it, to be honest.
And Isaac, I don't know. I think, so if we're talking about the game here, normally we would say, the team at home, etc., etc. But we've come to know that Man United being at home doesn't offer them any advantage whatsoever. So was this a case of Fulham not taking advantage of pretty basic Man United team or a Man United team not being in great form? Or do you disagree with Keith and actually, Man United were doing a little bit today?
No, I the game itself was boring. There wasn't really much.
It was a low quality game.
Excitement. Yeah. I think Fulham themselves were a bit lacking in terms of ruthlessness. I think if Fulham themselves were a bit more ruthless, this game would have been put to bed before 90 minutes. United are as bad as they are, or as bad as they have been. They still have quality with it, quality individuals within the team. They still have Bruno Fernandes as their captain and leader, and he can still produce, be it a set piece or be it a magical moment. And then the likes of Garnacho coming on, who, okay, he's not electrifying. He's not someone that you pin your hat on, but he still has the capability of delivering when needed, if given the opportunity. The game itself, I think the lack of ruthlessness from Fulham allowed United to just hang around, because as bad as they were, half time, as bad as they were, it was still only 1-0. So they just needed that one opportunity, and it came from Bruno Fernandes popping up in the box and putting it in the net. And then Fulham and then from that point onwards, it just died down. The quality just dissipated. There was nothing else. There was nothing there. United have just looked leggy. They have no cohesion. Xerxes and Højlund are just not producing. They're not producing anything. They're not providing any kind of outlet. It just looks really bad for United. Really, really bad.
And then, Amarim's been what's the word? Challenged about his use of youth players by none other than our very own Key as well. So today, a couple of youth players make an appearance. The much talked about Chido Martin, and then also what's the other young lad's name? Heaven. Yeah, Aiden Heaven. I was going to say Andre. Aiden Heaven. Both touched the pitch, and again, Obi Martin was busy. He was putting in some work. My friends who are Man United fans seemed happy with what he was doing and how he was doing it. But he just looked like a nervous kind of debutant. I know it's not his debut, but it felt like his proper debut because he came on for 3 minutes or something the other day. And sometimes when managers do that, I do think that they kind of feel like, well, I've got, I'll throw it all. I might as well try. I might as well throw them on. And it was clear that we're going to have to play through extra time, etc. So I think it's good that he did that. But to Isaac's point, it was almost I would just throw them on and see how they get on.
Yeah, and I'm glad he got a lot more time than the last game when he made his debut, and I was kind of championing him for coming on the pitch a little bit sooner. But yeah, I think there were a few nervous moments for him. There was a time when Bruno played him in, and like a bad first touch.
Yeah, that
touch. A little bit better. He sets himself. He could potentially 1-on-1, but it was a bad touch. But I think that will come with time. But what I did like was that he was always an option, and you don't always get that with Højlund and Zertsky on the pitch. And I'm not sure who they're playing Arsenal next in the league. I know they've got a Europa League game this week. But next game, I would just start him and just see what can happen. You know what I mean? This is the kind of thing that happened with Rashford when Rashford came through. Got thrown in at the deep end and showed that he could do it. I think the Europa League game, and I know they want to go and win this because it's like their only chance of silverware now, but I think this will be a perfect opportunity to put him in because he's not doing any worse than Højlund, and he can't do any worse than Højlund. Play him from the start, see how he gets on, and you never know, he might get 1 or 2 goals on Thursday. Put him against Arsenal. You never know what could happen. Confidence breeds a lot in football.
Yeah, unknown
quantity.
Yeah.
Just in regards to, I have a theory about the use of youth players at United currently. So just looking at the missing players, key players that were missing: Amad Diallo, injury; Patrick Dorgu, red card; Johnny Evans, Mainu, Martinez, Mount, Shaw, injuries, right? And then you look at the players that they've let go. So Rashford out the door, Malacia out the door. I think there's one or two others that have departed, right? I think there's and then if you also look at the bench, they left 2 slots open. So Amarin's not used 2 available slots for subs. I believe that was intentional, in the sense of, look, we're depleted. We let players go. We needed to go out into the market and spend heavily. That didn't happen in the winter market. So come summer, look at what I'm working with. I need you guys to go out and back me and give me money. So I think that was an intentional kind of, look, I've got nothing here. I'm working with scraps, because I'm pretty sure there would have been 2 other slots, 2 other youngsters in that academy that they could have brought through.
And I think their summer business is going to be limited. He better get used to that. I think, based on everything we're hearing, finance and PSR wise, he better get used to that. Look, I just want to quickly touch on a couple of things. Number one, Roy Keane's made a habit in the last few weeks of singling out players. Right, he did that with James Maddison. His victim this week was Bruno Fernandes. And look, I'll put my hands up. I'm not a Bruno Fernandes fan. I don't see the qualities in him that many people see. But I just this singling out of players from someone as prominent as Roy Keane, I just think isn't great. I think it's slightly irresponsible. And I know people love the whole fan passion, etc. But I do think there's a bit of a line. And I'm starting to wonder whether he's just figured out, like, look, this gets the clicks in. And I think I've discussed before, those guys, and they've morphed from ex-pros who are giving you an honest, informed view of the game to, content creators who have to generate a certain level of interaction, just like any other media people, just like journalists, etc. And I know it's a lot to accuse him of, but I don't know, man. It's too coincidental. You just go on this rant about Fernandes. You did the same about Maddison. Like, who's next? Or it shouldn't matter. He's Roy Keane. He's got the experience. He can say what he likes. I don't know what you guys think, but I think they have to be responsible with it personally.
Yeah, I think it's a conversation to be had. Like, you can say you don't appreciate what Bruno does within the team, etc. And it all stemmed from a conversation he was having with Ian Wright. And it's not like he just kind of went on the rant unprompted. But I think it's
It didn't take much prompt. Nah, Keith, it didn't take much prompt. It wasn't much prompt.
I get that. But I think it's the depth. I think it's the depth of how he goes into it and kind of the level of critique that he puts out there. That's the concern. I think the rant was like 3 minutes, and you can see like a vein was popping out of his head by the end of it. So yeah, it's going to draw clicks. I think it's right to have the conversation, but like I say, they've got to have a responsibility at the level of critique that they level at these players.
Yeah, I think it's a bit mad. Isaac, what do you think?
I don't mind it, to be honest.
Yeah, I knew you'd say that. This guy, bro.
Dude, okay, so the reason why I don't mind it, look, there's no smoke without fire, right? And with Bruno being the captain of United, for Roy Keane, I would imagine there's a certain standard that he's going to hold him to. And if he doesn't believe that he's delivering to that standard, I think that's the only part I don't agree with. I think Bruno's probably been United's best player, and time and time again, he's pulled them out of a few holes, right? So I think from that aspect, I don't agree with Keane in that sense, but I don't mind him digging out a player here and there if he feels it's justified. Now, he doesn't strike me as the kind of person that's searching for clicks, and he's going to say things for clickbait or whatnot. But I could be wrong. So
I mean, this is the guy that really held up that captaincy standard throughout his whole time at Manchester United. Yeah.
Fair enough, but I mean, he still led by example, where for the majority of the time.
These guys get convenient amnesia, man. It's so funny.
Of course,
so funny. You're talking about captain this, captain that. Look how you left the club in disgrace, bruv. Allow it.
I hear it. I don't mind it. And I mean, let's take the Maddison situation for example. He called him out. Maddison delivered. What better way to use that as motivation?
But it's not his job to call them out like that. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, yes and no. I mean, he's paid to talk about football, right? So, which is essentially giving his opinion, and if his opinion is of such an ilk that Madders is not delivering, and then Madders delivers.
You know what I would find interesting, Isaac? I don't think Roy Keane's having that. Like, if he's playing today, he's not having a Roy Keane or someone talking about him like that in the media. He's not. Trust me. Roy Keane, nah. You're getting direct convo back. I wouldn't be surprised if he would dial your phone.
They probably did.
Nah, Madison.
I've heard many times. I've heard many times where pundits have said something in the media, but then they've also said, yes, so such and such has called me before social media. They've called me, but nowadays it's probably a DM.
Yeah.
Some eyes
fair.
in the DM. Like, what's that about?
Fair. So, and I don't know if I'm a manager as well. Obviously, you tell your players to ignore it, etc. But I do think that these guys, they clap their traps sometimes without the due diligence, due responsibility that it comes with. That's all. Like, it's all one thing, random journalists saying it, but you know who you are and you know what you say carries weight, and it puts ripples in the water, bro. But hey, it's all content now. Who cares? So yeah, And I guess lastly, look, Manchester United in a bit of a tricky spot. I think Amorim is the worst Manchester United manager I've seen since Fergie left. Right. And there's a question now to say, could anyone? Because I said, I've expressed in a couple of groups, and Isaac asked a question earlier, which I think is a good one. Actually, at this point, could anyone do it? Could you draft in a Ancelotti, a Klopp, a Pep, a Conte, a Mourinho to save this team? Now, my answer would be, what does saving look like? If you're saying, could one of those guys make this team a top 10 team? Maybe. I don't know if any of those guys can make this team a Champions League qualifying team. I don't know.
To be fair, right now, good looks like trying to win 3 games in a row. Like, and that's not even a dig.
Wow.
Like that's the standard.
How the mighty have fallen
at the minute. And yeah, to Isaac's question, I think if you get one of those managers in, they utilize the players in the squad and get the best out of it. And like we've laboured the whole system thing time and time again, but I don't see it being this bad. With you forget those 5. I think if you drop in a couple other managers that are managing in the league now that are not even at the top kind of 4 or 5 clubs, I still think they get a better tune out of those.
What are you saying? My guy Iraola, yeah? You talk about my boy Iraola.
Iraola is one of them. And like even if you go down to like the new Wolves manager, Pereira, you can see what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
Like he's got a style of play. Like Cunha has even though Cunha's been pretty good all season, over the last kind of couple of months, he stepped up a little bit. Like it might be down to the man management, etc. So I think it is down to Amorim at the minute why they're performing so badly. I wouldn't say he's the worst manager since Fergie yet, because it's still early, but he's on the trajectory to be that.
And I'm not even saying that ability-wise. It's just cold facts. Since Fergie has left, has anybody been in this league position and had the results he's had at this stage of their Manchester United career?
I think it's a bit harsh to say that, because he took over a ship that was already on its way down, right? And he's not been able to steady.
Was Ten Hag this bad? Was the Ten Hag form that got him sacked? Wait. The Ten Hag form that got him sacked, was it this bad?
It wasn't this bad, but he was on his way, and it's his mess that Amorim's had to inherit.
Yeah, I think he's the worst performing. He's the worst performing United manager we've seen so far. He is.
I think that's a bit harsh.
No, but the fact is factual. He's the worst performing manager we've had so far.
That, but I think there needs
to
be a bit of context there.
All his yapping in the media, did you hear what he said about Anthony? How basically saying it's easier in Spain. Of course, he's doing all right. Basically, then he said the thing about Rashford saying he'd rather play the goalkeeper before he play. Come on, all of this stuff. Don't get me wrong, it's his inexperience, and to be fair to him, he's fronted up to it and said, "Oh, yeah, I'm inexperienced. Sometimes I say stuff." But until he does otherwise, if he ends the season, we've got 10 or 11 games left. If he carries on like this, what I said is going to age well. And I hope it doesn't, because he's a young manager, etc. But there's a wider conversation to be had about these young managers, the tacticos. But we'll have that one at the end of the season. All right, Man United fans, sorry, you guys feel like we down out on you guys a lot, but there's always stuff to talk about, man. Always stuff to talk about. And yeah, I'm not, I don't know. I think any manager who is willing to adapt to the squad he's got rather than fit the squad to his style religiously and unforgivingly would probably do a bit better now with Man United. I think that's the key issue. Amorim saying my way or the highway, which is fine. But when the highway's as bad as you got there, you might want to take it. Right, so moving on to an interesting game for a few reasons. Crystal Palace 3, Millwall 1. The first of the games we're going to talk about today with a red card. Palace ended up winning 3-1 with a Japhet Tanganga own goal, Daniel Munoz goal in the 40th minute, and an Eddie Nketiah goal in the 81st minute. He's like a bus. You wait so long and then 2 come along in the space of a week. Wes Harding got a goal on the stroke of half time for Millwall. Now, the goals weren't the talking point in this game because very early on, his name has left me now. I can't believe it. Mateta.
Oh, Mateta.
Mateta.
Jean-Philippe Mateta was challenged. So I was going to say tackle, but it was not even a tackle. he was
lightly.
he was running through on goal, and the Millwall keeper, Liam Roberts, came out with, I don't know, I can lazily call it a kung fu kick. I don't know what it was. Effectively, his foot was so high, he struck him in the face, and his foot kept going higher. The remarkable thing about all of this was that the referee, Mike Oliver, needed VAR to send up the keeper. He wasn't even going to give. He didn't even give a free kick. So there's even levels to this for me. You didn't even think it was a foul initially, and then you didn't think it was a booking. Ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. You could see that in full speed. As soon as it happened, I was like,
"Yeah,
is he going to go?" I was even asking, "Is he going to go or not?" He didn't even give a free kick. If it wasn't a head injury,
he wouldn't have stopped. To say.
Yeah,
he would have been like, "Carry on." And yeah, I think he's got to get some serious words from Howard Webb or whoever his boss is, because he's been championed as the best referee that the Premier League has to offer, and
he's a shocking referee.
I don't know. Maybe it's gone to his head a little bit, etc. Like maybe there's a little bit of arrogance when he's officiating matches now. But you can't be labelled as the best that we have to offer and then continually be in the spotlight for errors and mistakes that are happening. That shouldn't be happening either on the pitch, fair enough, or when you're in the VAR box. So yeah, it was a poor challenge, but I think it's compounded by the fact that Oliver was just going to play on if there wasn't an injury.
You're on mute, mate.
You're on mute, bro.
Shocking. You're already a Premier League team. You're already playing against a Premier League team. You're now down to 10 men.
Yeah.
You know, you're not making your life any easier. And then Crystal Palace kind of put them to the sword a little bit. But actually, Millwall didn't crumble. It was, they had a couple of chances themselves. And then Eddie Nketiah rocks up at the end with a great header. Fantastic header. Very much, they tell you to head it back from where it's coming from. And he did just that. And I think a quick word on Palace. Again, I thought this manager came in, Glasner. He had a tough start. It looked like they'd maybe not done their talent ID coaching-wise too well. But they're in a good run of form. Obviously, you got Mateta playing. Minus has come in. They're looking like a solid team again. And if Nketiah starts scoring now, Mateta unfortunately had to go to hospital, etc. I've not seen any more update on his condition today.
26 stitches, and he got discharged.
26?
Yeah, 26 stitches behind it, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Crazy. Well, he's not playing for a while. Yeah. So, if Nketiah can come...
On the challenge, though, can I just... I might be in the minority here, but I think the media made it a lot bigger than what it actually was. Like I saw during the game, Parrish came down and they had the camera focused on him and he was running. I know it's his player, and then they even interviewed Parrish after the game. And I was like, why do you need to?
I don't know. I don't know why they did that. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm like, why do you need to interview and it was only about the incident. It wasn't about the match. And I was like, granted, it was a shocking tackle, etc. But it's not the worst tackle we've seen on a football pitch.
And also, you interviewing Parrish, you're effectively trying to cook the referee. That's literally what you're trying to
do. And the player because like it wasn't done intentional, because he got the ball and he followed through. Like in my eyes.
But what's your foot doing up there? What's he going to do with the ball up there?
Intention in there.
Yeah.
No, because he's won the ball and just the trajectory of his speed is just carried him up. Like I don't think he'd intentionally gone to kick.
Trying to boot the ball like that with a player coming at you.
You're not the number one at Millwall. It's the FA Cup. Like adrenaline gets you through. Like go with it.
I just don't think it. Can I ask you a question though?
Yeah.
What height was he winning this ball at? He won the ball at like shoulder height. Mateta is 6 foot plus. So already, even if you didn't touch Mateta, it's a free kick for high foot. Anyway.
I know that. I get it, but I'm just saying, if you take in all the nuances, like
Yeah.
he's not the number one. It's early in the game. He wants to win the ball. I just don't think there was any malicious intent behind it. It
No,
was nasty.
no. So I don't think he's trying to take out Mateta. So sorry, when you say intent, I guess it's clumsy, but being clumsy, there's also a responsibility for you to not be clumsy, right? Like you have to take due care and know what you're doing. So yeah, okay, obviously, yeah. When you say intent, he's not trying to go out to club Mateta in his head. But if your foot's up there, it's risky, and one of the risks is because his head's up there as well. So like it's crazy, but yeah, I agree. That interview in Paris, whoever was the director on the day or whoever it was, that's nasty work.
Yeah,
Nasty
very
work.
much so.
I mean, it's low hanging fruit at the moment, isn't it? The referees and
Yeah.
PGMOL are an easy target. So a situation like this where Michael Oliver's needed VAR in order to make a stonewall decision that anyone and their grandma would have been able to make. It is essentially low hanging fruit, and it was just right. Let's just keep driving it home, build up the hate, build up the drive the vitriol from the fans, and then then they'll step back and go, "Oh, it's not our doing. We were just reporting."
And and the bits the media needed to focus on, the tackle, the referee decision, fine, but also some of the chanting from the Millwall fans, "Let him die, let him die."
Yeah, that was
I
disgusting.
mean, that club,
Don't do
they just need to throw it in the bin. I don't care. People are going to say what they want to say online, but it's just always something with them. So, what kind of chanting is that? Let him die, let him die. All because of football.
Yeah. I saw a comment regarding that from, I'm assuming it to be a Millwall fan, where they were like, "Oh, well, other fans do it. Why are we being singled out?" And it was just like, come on, no one should be doing it. Full stop. How about that?
Exactly. All right. Well, listen. Well wishes to Mateta. Hope he's back on the pitch as soon as possible. And as a fellow, as a former goon, I hope that Nketiah takes his chance and get going. Another good win for Palace. Now to talk about the Bournemouth game, which ended 1-1. I think the highlight for me is that Matheus Cunha goal. He just scoring worldies. If any of you have not seen it, he just effectively he receives the ball, and sometimes when people receive the ball and you just know they want to shoot or they take a stride, he kind of just receives the ball, stands on the spot and says, "Oh, I might shoot," and then 30 yards and ripple net later, it's a goal. So yeah, he can't do any wrong at the moment. He then gets sent off in extra time. Which is typical him. I feel like
Head
great
loss.
football. Yeah, head loss. We had the issue after the game a few months ago before Gary O'Neill departed, right? So yeah, Cunha and head loss seem to be chatted together. And then it went to penalties, right? Of which we saw a couple of interesting penalties. Dango Ouattara took his penalty in a way I've not seen before, but it makes a lot of sense.
Proper stuff. That's how you do it. That all this run up nonsense.
Wait,
that's too.
no, but
woke.
It's not even. But Isaac, it's not even a lack of run up. He didn't even take a step back.
That's it. 2 steps.
His standing foot was to. So for those of you who haven't seen it, Ouattara puts the ball down on the spot, and to the point Isaac's making, as he puts the ball down on the spot, referee blows his whistle, and at this point, players normally take a few steps back. Some people do a real run up. I've never been a fan of that. He doesn't even take a step back. He puts the ball down. His standing foot next to the ball, and as he straightens up his body, he just slides in. Keeper's unawares because he thinks he's got another 3 or 4 seconds as the player takes the step back. I mean, it was a great penalty, but it's so obvious. But I've just never seen anyone do it before.
Yeah, if Flummox needed a description, it would be the goalkeeper because he didn't know what to do. Like he was just like, "Raw, what's happened?"
I mean, that's you know what it's like in the cages.
Yeah.
When they say 2 steps or 5-a-side football, 2 steps or 1 step, and then that's it. Lovely. Just take.
It's not an easy technique, though, is it?
If not, well, it depends.
I think a lot of pros are not being able to do that. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah, no, penalties just catches people out, man, and it's surprising me even at the pro level that happens.
Yeah.
It surprises me that even at the pro level.
It was nice that
that-
Evan Nielsen scored though, because he'd been out for a while. So the first game back.
Yeah,
Put
no,
Bournemouth 1-0 up.
He scored. He scored to put Bournemouth in the lead. And if I look at the other penalty takers, Wolves missed 2 crucial ones. Dean Hoyson, the much touted centre back, missed 1. But Justin Kluivert's penalty was nice. To kind of be the first Bournemouth one to go through. So yeah, Bournemouth riding the wave, now into the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. And it's shaping up to be a Minnows FA Cup this year, apart from Palace. Apart from City still being in it, but yeah.
Yeah, so just go back to Cunha. I know he signed a new deal a couple months ago. It might have been about a month ago. And that's most probably for Wolves.
It was the night after the game. It was right after the game. Do you remember? They played the game and then he signed it straight after the game.
Yeah, most probably for Wolves to get a little bit more money when they do sell him, because they're not going to go down, but I think it's kind of, everyone can see that he's above that level at the minute. Do you think these kind of 2 head loss moments might put people off or affect?
Nope.
Not at all.
Managers will think, we can do with that.
Yeah. And they'll just probably look at it and say, look at the environment that he's in. They'll just say his passion. This is how for me they'll justify his passion. He's tired. He's clearly head and shoulders the best player in the team. Players around him are up to scratch. You put him in a team where there's better players, that won't happen. So.
And I tell you what, it's interesting because how much do you think Wolves are going to want for him now? Because he's done well, but he's not.
60 to 70.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because I think anything other than that, you're overpaying. But his new contract's 4 or 5 years. So keeping that value. But yeah,
and they're saying Brazil call up as well. So
I was just about to say, if it carries on like this, the state the current Brazil team is in, he's getting in. He's getting in.
Quickly on the just that, I know it's Esteval. Did you see his last goal for Palmeiras?
The one that's going to Chelsea. Yeah, I saw that 30 yards. Well, he's
top bins.
He's going to be the first player of his age to get 30 goals. Yeah, 30 goals and assists is Neymar.
Wow.
Yeah.
In 2010. So maybe they've got a real one there. Yeah. Cole Palmer, watch out. Might be some real competition coming your way. Next game we're going to look at is the Newcastle game. Fireworks for no reason at all, actually. So Brighton go through 1-2. Isak with a fantastic penalty in the 22nd minute. Top bins. Keeper had no chance. You don't save those. Top right side of the keeper's goal. Minte then equalizes on the 44th minute with a really good move, but a deflection from defender. So he was really fortunate. And
can we talk about him not celebrating?
I was about to say he did the
whole. Me so much.
Bro, what's wrong with you, man?
Nah, but he didn't play a game for the club. Didn't even go on the bench.
I'm not gonna lie.
I don't even think he had a trading top. Like, I know this.
You say he didn't even have a locker with his name on it, no?
Yeah, like they signed him, loaned him out. He came back, and then they sold him straight away.
Listen, you see me in that situation, I'm celebrating like mad. I can't remember who it was
last night.
Yeah. Sliding on his knees.
Slide. That's what you got to do. I don't care.
The best one was
that's different.
The guy. Different. He left Plymouth. Plymouth got rid of him, or someone got rid of him, and then he went to another team, played against him in Championship. Bro, this guy when he scored, he ran the length of the pitch. He did a full Adebayo. Yeah, he did. He wasn't on it. Like, you don't let me go. I think they even cancelled his contract by mutual consent or something like that.
Yeah. The guy, I remember this. This was like 2-3 weeks ago.
The guy
in front of the Plymouth manager
did full sprints. Full sprints.
Plymouth. Yeah,
that's it. Yes, exactly. So yeah, I'm with you. Normally, I'm not with you on it, but you see, in that kind of situation, you didn't even think I was good enough to play, and now I'm celebrating. Yeah.
Yeah, but the fact, all right. But then the other side of it is this. Look, you lot give me the opportunity to even come to the Premiership. All right. So remember Newcastle got brought in from, I think it was Odense or whatever the club was. Yes, okay, they've loaned him out to Feyenoord, probably because they just wanted him to get more experience at a higher level. He's come back. They've said, "Look, we still don't think you're good enough, but we've let you go to another Premiership team." That even just bringing me to the Premiership, you put me in the shop window, the window
No, but he didn't play
to
in the
another
Premier
team.
League. That's my
Doesn't
point.
matter. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. He's done enough for another Premier League club
It
to
was
I'm
a money
celebrating.
grab.
collect.
Money grab
Celebrating,
from
man.
them.
I'm
I see.
celebrating.
I can understand it, and when you've come
I'm
from, you're
celebrating.
coming from next to nothing, and a
No,
big
I'm not
team.
saying it's on him, but I'm just saying like in terms of the transfer stuff, that's fine. They brought him in, loaned him out, yeah, but celebrate, man.
Yeah,
Well,
So,
I'm
like,
celebrating.
Brighton are appreciating you now, innit? Like,
Trust that. I was just
yeah,
about to say, I'm celebrating for the club that's put me on the grass. Yeah,
exactly.
that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. Um,
fair enough.
and then Big Daddy Mensah rocks up in extra time with what I want to say is a very Danny Welbeck finish.
Just calm, innit?
It was calm, but it was like he was falling over. It was a chip, but it went in the roof of the net.
Dinky Welbeck.
Yeah, it was a good move. But it's funny, we were clowning Ten Hag when it came out that he wanted to take Welbeck back to Man United. They could do him now, boy. I'm not gonna lie.
Rooney said
Well,
the same thing today. He
yeah,
said, "I'd love to see him back at United."
They could do with him now, in all honesty.
massively.
So great finish, and then also, Newcastle had a goal disallowed.
Well, that too. Remember, Isak had one in the first half.
Yes.
Cracking finish as well.
Mm.
I think he's one of the cleanest strikers of the ball I've seen, man. Once he connects,
What do you mean? You've seen or you're seeing right now?
seen like over time. Like
Well,
if
Alan
you look at
Shearer's
his
played in
collection,
this league,
if you look at Isak's collections of goals, he he don't ramp to put his laces through the ball, man.
Boy, nah, he's shown to be a real deal. That was his 21st goal in 24 games for Newcastle. The numbers are absolutely crazy. And then we have the talking point of the match before we kind of get to extra time. Anthony Gordon's red card.
Absolute head loss.
I don't
There
think
was
it's a red
no
though.
need for that.
Yeah,
What?
neither
He
do I.
put his
I
hands.
think it's a
He put
yellow.
his hands in his face. How's that not a red card?
Back in
It's
the
just a
day.
push, bruv.
Yeah.
No, but I understand that. But he's caught his face
By the law,
red-handed.
yeah, by the rule.
By the letter of the law.
Yeah,
The game's gone
absolutely.
soft, isn't it?
Oh, calm down. I won't go that far.
If we didn't have to play them in the cup final, then
Yeah.
I'd be standing right next to you lot in your opinion. But it is what it is.
No, it's true. It's true. I mean, he didn't need to do that. The guy was pulling over his shirt, etc. But sometimes Anthony Gordon has that little ego, arrogance
Little
thing.
edge to him.
Yeah, and it comes across a little bit like who are you to me type vibes. But the
Even
guy
though
was
he's not done anything in the game.
literally. Yeah, you've done a big money move to Newcastle. That's fine, but you're definitely not pulling up any trees. The Brighton player made the most of it, though. Gosh,
As you should.
Yeah,
he looked like he'd taken a right hook to the face. He's having a laugh. But yeah, this was an interesting matchup as well. The teams are 1 point apart in the league. Brighton go through 2-1. Actually, before I move on, Tariq Lamptey. Again, your team's got one extra player. Don't do anything silly. You're already in the yellow. I don't even think that was a yellow card tackle either.
Nah, it was late.
It was late.
It's the kind of yellow you only get.
Late.
But it's the kind of yellow you only get if you've already got a yellow. It's one of those.
Yeah.
And all the crowd are
being late. Them challenging it.
Yeah, and all the crowd are on the ref and all of that. Yeah, but it's silly from him.
Yeah, he's lucky.
Luckily, they prevailed in the end, but it's silly from him. But yeah, good win for Brighton. And they kind of march on. If City weren't in the poor form that they're in, then I would say, look, they're probably going to go through. But I think we've got a decent chance of having a non-regular winner this year. I think.
Yeah, and I think it's about time. Like, I know a lot of people have slated the FA Cup, but I think in the last 20, 25 years, outside the big traditional 4 or 5 teams, only Leicester, Wigan, and who else do I want to say?
Leicester, Wigan,
and Portsmouth. Outside of those three clubs, it's gone to Liverpool, United, Arsenal, Chelsea, Man City. So people could say the FA Cup, it has lost its magic a bit, but traditionally only 5 teams win it over the last 25 years. So I think it'd be really good to for one of the other teams to, and I think with Man City, the form they're in, as you said, it's going to be the best opportunity for a team to break the monopoly.
Agreed. All right, just quickly to run through the other results. Aston Villa won 2-0 at home to Cardiff. So the most surprising thing for me was to see Aaron Ramsey's name on the team sheet still. I didn't realise he was still playing.
Well, there's the whole talk on that, just briefly before you carry up moving. There's a whole talk on the fact that Cardiff are not doing well at the moment in the league. Do they continue with a player that's largely injured, missing games here and there, and then paying his salary? Or do they say, look, thanks, mate, you're a club legend, club hero, local lad, but we're going to let you go, take that money that we're giving you and invest that somewhere, maybe one or two other players that can help us push.
But football love this story, right? They're like, someone of his quote-unquote pedigree, he's been at certain clubs, as you say, he's a Welsh legend. Football love doing this. You know my view already. Get the guy out of there, man. If he's not playing, if he's not producing on the pitch, your return on investment is minimal, absolutely minimal. And yeah, there's the stuff, there's the intangibles, right? Having him around the ground, the level he'll bring to training, etc., etc. But if you're a smaller club, I'm not saying he's getting the biggest wages, but he's not. He can't be cheap. He can't be cheap compared to everyone else. And them ones he's driving in with his mad cars.
Yeah, he must be getting about 40, 45.
Probably. Yeah, probably.
Which is quite high for the Championship.
Well, it's high for a small Championship club. Yeah. So yeah, I'm with you. Like, you just got to make the tough decisions. There's probably younger, hungrier players. They might not have Ramsey's quality. Don't get me started on that. But these days, you're better off having a fully fit team that can play as regularly as it can and drive the team forward, in my opinion. But
availability is the best ability.
The best ability, yes, indeed. Marco Asensio with 2 goals again, twice in a week. Marcus Rashford with another assist. It's interesting now. It's funny that when a team actually does stuff in the transfer window, yeah, they didn't have options and they have attacking options. So now, Emery's rotating his team. He had a front 4 of Bailey, Asensio, Rashford, and Watkins today. Looking at his Morgan Rogers, Jacob Ramsey were on the bench. Yeah, he's got a little bit of he's got a bit of rotation he can do now. Yeah, if only my club had thought to do the same thing.
What are we saying? Tuchel including Rashford in the England squad?
It wouldn't surprise me. I think we'll get. I think if you know anything about Thomas Tuchel, he does what he wants. He's not on this playing the game. I think we're going to see some interesting people. We're going to see. I think we might see Maslow Skelly. I think we'll see Ben White back. I think you're going to see Rashford. Yeah, you're going to.
To be fair,
my man for Fulham.
In the last month, has there been a better English wide winger forward than Rashford?
In the last month? No.
Yeah.
No.
So
if you're going on form, you've got to take him.
Yeah. And I just think that is mad. From a guy saying you don't throw in enough, you're not good enough, to 4 weeks later, affecting games on a regular basis and get back in England squad. Again, I said what I said earlier. Yeah. I said what I said.
And he looks sharp. That's the thing. It's not like the assists are like masking kind of average performances. Like he's getting shots, he's been in the right place, etc. Yeah, man. I hope he does well, and I hope they win it. If they win the FA Cup and he gets a trophy, I'll be very happy for him, man.
He doesn't look like a man that wasn't training properly. That's what I'll say.
Listen, I think it was the game before last, and he just kept running at the right back. He just kept going and going and going. Every game he's looked sharp, like he said. Mate, honestly, there must be something in the air at United. But let's not get onto them.
Bad decisions. That's what it is. Bad decisions. Anyway, to cover the rest, we've got Preston winning 3-0 at Burnley. This is, of course, this game had a bit of extra context to it. Let me see. Militant Osmagic was accused of racially abusing a Burnley player. Which Burnley player was it, Keith? Do you remember? Hannibal, that's it. Hannibal, and I could never say his surname. I just call him Hannibal. So in the lineup beforehand, Burnley players showing some solidarity with their colleague, refused to shake his hand, which he found amusing. And then they went on to lose the game 3-0. Sometimes I think with those things, the best thing to do is to win the game and make a statement with that and other things. But I like the fact that they show solidarity. I like the fact they show solidarity.
Yeah, it's quite interesting that the goals
Do you
they
think
conceded.
he should not have been playing though, considering the allegation that's been put out there?
I mean, in a game that took those allegations seriously, yeah, he wouldn't have been. But we don't have one of those.
Very true. Very true. But yeah, these first goals that Burnley conceded since the last round of the FA Cup.
I was coming to talk to you because you was telling me about how their defense is all lock and key and etc. But this happens, right? When you've had a great defensive record, he can't run off forever.
And he did make a few changes as well. Like he's going for promotion. Like they're third, a few points off second place for the automatic promotion. Like they've been really good defensively, but they're having a bit of trouble scoring at times. Like a lot of 0-0s and 1-0s.
Okay.
So yeah, he's trying to preserve for that promotion push.
Nathan Redmond is still
back up first time.
Priorities, right? Priorities.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I understand.
Just a couple of things. Ched Evans on the bench for Preston. Not seen that name for a while. How old is he now? 36. Wow. Nathan Redmond on the bench for Burnley. How old is he now? 30. Oh, he's only 30.
I feels like he's older than that.
Feels like he's been around forever.
Shelby. Burnley.
He's still going. And then last but not least, excuse me, Manchester City 3, Plymouth Argyle 1, Nico O'Reilly, don't know who that is, with 2 goals, and Kevin De Bruyne, I don't think I've seen his name on the team sheet for a while, with a goal in the 90th minute. Maxim Talavierov with a goal to put Plymouth in the lead on the 38th minute. Did anyone see any of this game?
No, I just caught the highlights of this one. But it didn't look too straightforward for Man City. I know they ran out 3-1 winners, but you say De Bruyne's third goal was in the 90th minute. Went 1-0 down. I think Plymouth can be proud of their performance in the last 2 rounds of the FA Cup.
Yeah, unlucky to get Man City, right? After you do what you've done. You're lucky to get Man City.
Nice payday though, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess. I guess so. And they're looking forward to the quarterfinals. The draw has been made. So Preston are away to Aston Villa. Fulham at home to Crystal Palace. It's going to be a tasty game. And Bournemouth at home to Manchester City. Brighton will play whoever wins out of the Nottingham Forest and Ipswich game, which is being played on Monday night, Monday the 3rd of March. So yeah, as I said, outside of Man United, Man City, if Bournemouth can do a job there, we should have an interesting final with teams that are not typically, someone's going to put a cup in the cabinet who hasn't been able to do that for some time. So, which is always nice to see. Unfortunately, it's not mine. Moving on swiftly. The Champions League is back this week. And I say that like it actually does go anywhere for long. It probably only goes away for a week or 2 at a time. But yes, Champions League is back this week. Round of 16. It's going to be 2 legs, a week apart. Again, condensed, right? They used to, at this stage, you used to play them 2 weeks apart at least, right? And just a quick run through those games. So we've got Club Brugge at home to Aston Villa. PSV at home to Arsenal. Feyenoord at home to Inter. Surprise kind of walkthrough of last round. Benfica at home to Barcelona. Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid. So we got a Madrid derby there. Dortmund at home to Lyon. Bayern.
Leo, not Leon, bro.
Lille.
Yeah.
Bayern and Bayer Leverkusen. So Bayern at home for the first leg. And what's the last game? PSG at home to Liverpool. Whoo! Yeah, these are the Champions League nights, man. These are the Champions League nights. If you'd asked me in November, December, PSG, Liverpool, I'm like, yeah, Liverpool will deal with that. But PSG have found some form. Dembele's found some form. Luis Enrique's got them playing. So I still fancy Liverpool to go through on that tie, but it's not going to be, it's not going to be a walkover. How you guys feeling about it?
Yeah, I'm fairly confident, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, when it kind of meant something, other than Nottingham Forest early in the season, we've done something in it. We've got a result of some sort. I think the win against Newcastle midweek will be a bit of a boost now that we've got that bit of cushion over Arsenal. A week off as well. Slot said he would have preferred to play this weekend, but it is what it is. If we go there and get a draw, happy days, basically.
I agree. Obviously, the Madrid derby against another.
That's going to be spicy.
Oh, mate. Simeone doing what Simeone does on the sideline. Oh, gosh. I mean, he might be the only manager that's more active on the sideline than Arteta and the Brighton manager. Hertzler. Yeah. Simeone might be the only one that's more active than those two. So, yeah, that's going to be interesting. Any other standout ties for you guys?
I think the Bayern tie is going to be really good. Like, they played a couple of weeks ago. It was 0-0. But Bayern really should have come away with the 3 points in that game. I read something
Will Kane be fit enough for that game? That's the question.
I don't think he will be. I don't think he was fit in the last... Who did they play?
Because I know
they played a game recently.
He's been complaining of a back problem for a little while now. I think even into last season he had the issue.
Yeah, since the Euros, really, isn't it?
Yeah. So it would be interesting to see if because what's that, Wednesday?
Yeah, the Bayern game is Wednesday.
So, and Bayern at home, they need a result. And if there's no Kane,
yeah, it's going to be tough. And to be fair, Arsenal game as well, man. Just to see how you guys react for the last couple games.
No
Who
Saka.
cares about that game, bruv?
Say that again.
No Jesus, no Saka, no Havertz.
No interest.
They're not no small boys,
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't think PSV are going to come to play. I think they're going to let you have the ball, and it's about
even at Arsenal home, even the fact that they're at home.
Yeah, I think they'll let you have the ball. It's about you breaking them down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which we've been fantastic at in the last 3 weeks, huh? Yeah,
there you go.
Odegaard is trying to break down teams with a butter knife instead of a chisel. Marino's doing makeshift striker up front. Yeah, this is. I mean, I couldn't think of a worse time to be playing the round of 16 in Champions League, if I'm quite honest with you. But yeah, it is what it is, and I've said it before and I'll say it again. I don't want to hear it, to be honest. If you want to win stuff, you're gonna have times when certain players are out. That's why you have to execute in the market. You have to give yourself a chance with the squad. You have to be creative, get loans, blah 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 blah. And I know we weren't saying these names at the time, but again, it's not my job to know it. So, are you telling me, the loan signings, Marcus and Sauer, etc., that wouldn't have helped Arsenal? He wouldn't have been a player to people will come up with all kind of reasons why he wouldn't fit in Arsenal system, etc. But that's why they get those people in those organizations and scouts such to get paid what they get paid. Even people were saying Rashford on loan, and I was like, I personally didn't want him, But I didn't know this version of Rashford was the version that people were going to get.
I'm so happy you guys didn't get Rashford. Oh, if this Rashford would have turned up at Arsenal, oh, I'm so happy.
But I don't even know. To be fair to Arsenal, there's some kind of administrative thing about loans because I think Raheem Sterling and Neto, I think you can only have 2 loans at
Yeah,
once.
you can only have 2 loans at the same time.
So they would have to send someone back, I guess. But yeah, it's. Let's see. The team could surprise us, right? Let's see. It's 2 legs. I don't think we're expecting any injury people back. Martinelli and Saka, I think he said after international break at the earliest for Martinelli, and then Saka is whenever Saka's back, right? He had kind of the major surgery. But am I championing a bit for Martinelli to come back? No. So yeah, I think we just land where we land this season now, and then just get on with the transfer window, please. That's it. That's really it now for me. So yeah, full Champions League schedule Tuesday and Wednesday, looking good. And that's it. That's it, really. We'll be back next week. Is next week the Premiership's back next week? Yes, we are.
Arsenal Man United next Sunday.
Arsenal Man United next week. A few other tasty fixtures. So yeah, we'll be back next week. I think most of the gang will be here, and we should have a guest as well. So as always, please like, share, subscribe, and we'll be back in the next episode of the Centre Circle. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.